I was translated to heaven like Enoch and Elijah, never left my body, never died, and God spoke to me. This just happened in a dream. I was asleep on earth, but I was alive and conscious in heaven, and as I was being taken up, I don't know how to explain this. So this dream started at my grandparents' house, and I think we were standing up talking, like we were talking amongst each other in a circle, and my body started to float, and I said, "Hallelujah, I'm going." As I was starting to float, I could see like a purple aura around my body. It was like a glowing, like kind of like that sign neon. It was purple around my body, and I started to float, and everybody started to look. Everybody's eyes started to go like this. I started thinking, how am I going to make it through the ceiling? And almost immediately, I go to another dimension. Um, Abraham's bosom. I don't know. I can only explain it like uh John was trying to explain stuff in the book of Revelation. I can only explain to you what I saw. Before we get too deep, I just want to say this. I'm not lying. I believe all liars have their part in the lake of fire. I believe people who lie, especially lie against God, will go to hell or will be judged for that. I'm not lying at all. This really happened in my dream. It really happened. So everything that I'm telling you, it actually happened. So when I got to this other dimension, I could hear God's voice. It was the only voice that I heard. I could hear his voice. It was a masculine, manly voice. I could not see him, but I heard him as I'm guessing my spirit was roaming around this place. And I could hear not the judgment of other people, but I could hear the things that you should have done or the things that you should do in order to go to heaven or in order to be with him. I could see the the people who made it. I don't know if you want to call it a rapture. I don't really believe in the rapture, but the second resurrection, whatever. I could see the people who made it, and I couldn't see faces. It was more like I was telling you earlier, that purple aura. It was more like purple lights, if I can explain it that way. It was more like purple lights, and I could see the souls or the people who made it. Then, as I was looking down through this, it's like, seemed like it was glass, and I was looking down, I could see a bunch of red lights, and those were people who did not make it, maybe will take part in the second death. I don't know exactly, but those were the people who were not with us. My spirit was asking God questions, mainly about the people who didn't make it, but I wasn't talking in an audible voice. He was the only audible voice. It was like I like right now I would think something and he would answer it. My spirit was asking him questions without a voice. It was like a thought, or maybe I don't know how to explain it, but I was basically asking him or thinking to him, like, how did people not make it? And as he was explaining, I could hear God, but I couldn't feel bad, if that makes sense, because I was so excited and just screaming, hallelujah. I was so excited to be there. It was like the stuff that the red lights, right? The souls that didn't make it, the stuff that they didn't, it was almost like I didn't care. I mean, imagine this. One moment you're talking to people, the next moment you start to float and start to glow. And the crazy thing is it was almost like we were talking about it. I don't know what our conversation was on Earth while we were talking, but it was like I was anticipating that moment. And it was almost like it was a like you're waiting to get your name called for an award. And oh my goodness, that's like the best thing that I can think of. If you've ever been in that situation, like, or you're anticipating, you have done some charity event where they give you the tickets and you could win a, I don't know, $5,000 cash or whatever it is, or a brand new car for this charity event, and they give you a ticket and you're like almost anticipating your number being called, and your number gets called in that feeling. I've never really won anything in my life, but I can imagine that feeling of like your name getting called for that award. That's what it felt like. Shortly after my dream stopped and I woke up, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's because I believe that Jesus says in the Bible somewhere that in the end times it'll be just like the days of Noah. And if you look at the story of Noah, the entire world, only a family was saved. Shortly after, in the same book, Genesis 19, I believe, it talks about Sodom and Gomorrah, and this out of these cities, right, that God was going to destroy. Um, there was one family saved, even though the wife ended up turning into a pillar of salt. It seems like a husband and a wife and children, right? And I believe that the children will be saved. Um, but the husband and the wife, if you correlate that or relate that to Jesus and his bride, um, we are his bride. And though we are his bride, you can still look back and turn into a pillar of salt, be destroyed. And y'all, I woke up and I was so happy I'm still happy about this dream because it makes me feel as though I almost have assurance in my salvation. Not almost, but like I feel so much more confident. I feel as though God was telling me something in that dream. I didn't the dream didn't take me to hell and I saw some wild, six-headed beast, and I got choked out, and I was looking at my body. No extreme stuff. This was of being called up and being able to see um the souls that weren't, but not having any feelings towards it because I was so happy to be with him. Like I was anticipating this reward. Going back to Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham told God, he said, "Are you?" I'm. This is not verbatim, but he said, like, "Aren't you supposed to be a righteous God? Why would you destroy an entire city when there's innocent people in there?" And God basically was like, "Okay, find me 50 if I can find 50 innocent people." Abraham pleaded, right? If I can find 50 innocent people, and then Abraham talked him down all the way to what was it, five or something like that, um, people. And but if God had found 50 righteous people in those cities, he would not have destroyed the entire city. Now, I don't know how many people were in those cities, but say it's like my hometown where there's like 3 or 4,000 people in it. To not find 50 righteous people is wild. But is it not crazy that God couldn't find no more than a righteous family when it was Noah's day? And I do feel as though, I'm going to be blunt, a lot of people are going to hell. A lot of people are going to hell, and a lot of people will not make it. But for the people who will, you won't worry about what happened on earth. You'll be so happy that you are just with him. And I don't have a magic formula, or I can't really just the only thing I can tell you is to study the Bible for yourself without influence from other books or your pastor or a social media influencer, whoever. Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. And that's the best advice I can give you. Die to your flesh daily and work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. This is not a video to scare anybody. This is a video to rejoice. I am so happy. I pray for dreams like this, and it randomly came, and I'm so thankful for it, and I hope that this can bless somebody. But we are in the end times, and who knows? Like, you don't want to be seeing other people floating away, and you're not. Your name didn't get called. Your ticket didn't get called. So please study the Bible with fear and trembling. Work out your own salvation with little influence of the preacher, unless he's a holy and righteous preacher. But you should still work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Look into the Bible, read the Bible, study the Bible for yourself. It's my biggest advice, because there are so many false teachers. There are so many false Christ. There's so much confusion, and you'll get led astray by somebody who just wants you for money or for views or for clicks. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Get in that Bible for yourself. It's time to lock in. Love you guys. Be blessed. Please share this video.